Have you ever read the first chapter of the Bible and thought, what is really going on here? Was the world created in 6 literal 24-hour days? Was it all just symbolic? And how on earth could there be light before God even made the sun? These are big questions, and today, we're going to tackle them. We're not just reading Genesis chapter 1. We're diving deep into its structure, its ancient context, and its profound spiritual meaning. Whether you're a longtime believer, a new Christian, or just someone curious about one of the most famous stories ever told, this video is for you. By the end, you'll see the creation story in a powerful new light. So, let's start where it all began. The very first verse of the Bible is one of the most powerful statements ever written. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Notice what it doesn't do. It doesn't try to prove God exists. It simply declares it as the foundational truth of reality. Before time, before space, before matter, God was already there. This one sentence tells us 3 crucial things. First, God is eternal, existing outside of time. Second, God is the creator, the source of everything. And third, everything that exists is dependent on Him. The Hebrew word used here for created is bara. This word is special because it means to create something out of absolutely nothing. This isn't God just rearranging pre-existing materials like a cosmic artist. This is God speaking reality into existence from nothingness. From the very first line, the Bible establishes that God is completely sovereign over everything. Then we get to verse 2. Now the earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. The original Hebrew words for formless and empty are tohu washington ba'u. It describes a world that is unstructured and uninhabited. It's a state of chaos, but watch what God does next. The 6 days of creation have a beautiful, poetic structure. During the first 3 days, God forms the world. And during the next 3 days, God fills the world. It has a pattern of solving the formless problem and then the empty problem. There is order, design, and purpose from the very beginning. And notice this incredible detail. Even in the darkness and chaos, the Spirit of God is present, hovering over the waters. That's a powerful image for our own lives. When things feel chaotic and uncertain, God is still there, present and active. On day 1, God speaks the famous words, "Let there be light." And just like that, there was light. But wait, the sun isn't created until day 4. So where did this light come from? This is a key detail that points to a deeper theological truth. The Bible is telling us that God Himself is the ultimate source of light. Throughout Scripture, light is a symbol of goodness, truth, life, and God's very presence. The first thing God does is separate this light from the darkness. He's bringing order out of chaos, establishing the rhythm of evening and morning, day and night. With this act, time itself begins. On the second day, God separates the waters. He creates a vault, or an expanse, that separates the waters above from the waters below. In the ancient Hebrew worldview, this was understood as the sky or the atmosphere, the space between the seas on the earth and the waters held in the clouds. Again, we see God as a master architect, building the very structure of the cosmos. It's not a random explosion, it's a careful, deliberate arrangement. Day 3 is a double feature. First, God gathers the waters together, allowing dry land to appear. He names the land earth and the waters seas. Then, He commands the land to produce life. Vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit spring forth from the ground. God speaks, and life emerges. And after each of these creative acts, we hear a repeated phrase, "And God saw that it was good." This is so important. Genesis is making a radical claim against many ancient creation myths which saw the physical world as evil, flawed, or the result of a cosmic battle. The Bible declares that the physical world is inherently good because God Himself made it. Now we arrive at day 4, and we circle back to the theme of light. God creates the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night, along with the stars. So why now? Why create the sun and moon after creating light itself? Because Genesis isn't trying to be a modern science textbook, its primary goal is theological. In the ancient world, the sun and the moon were worshipped as powerful deities. But Genesis demotes them. They are not gods. They are simply lights or lamps. They are created objects with a job to do, to mark seasons, days, and years. They serve humanity. They are not to be served. The message is clear. God alone is worthy of worship. On day 5, the world explodes with life. God fills the skies and the seas with living creatures. He speaks, and the waters teem with fish and great sea creatures, and birds fly across the sky. And for the first time in the narrative, God gives a blessing. He tells these creatures to be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. Life is meant to flourish, creation is abundant and full of vitality. It's a picture of generosity, not scarcity. Day 6 is the grand finale of Creation Week. First, God creates the land animals, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals. The earth is now filled with an incredible diversity of life. But then, the tone shifts. Something truly unique is about to happen. God says, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness." Notice the plural us and our. This has led to much discussion, with many seeing it as an early hint of the Trinity. But the most important part is the phrase "in our image." Humans are not just another animal. We are created to be God's representatives on earth. What does it mean to be made in the image of God? It means we are created to reflect His character. We reflect His creativity, His capacity for reason and morality, His relational nature, and His authority. God gives humanity dominion over the rest of creation. This isn't a license to exploit and destroy, but a sacred responsibility to act as stewards to care for, manage, and cultivate the world He made. Then God creates them male and female, both sexes, equally and fully, bear the image of God. At the end of day 6, after creating humanity, God looks at everything He has made, and the verdict is elevated. It's no longer just good. It is very good. Humanity is the pinnacle, the crown of God's creation. The creation story doesn't actually end on day 6. The 7th day, which is technically the start of Genesis chapter 2, is the completion of the entire week. On this day, God rests. Now, He doesn't rest because He's tired. God is infinite. He rests because His work of creation is finished. It is complete. By resting, God establishes the Sabbath, a holy rhythm of work and rest. In our fast-paced, productivity-obsessed culture, Genesis reminds us that stopping is not a waste of time. Rest is sacred. It's a time to cease from our work and to worship the Creator. So, what is Genesis 1 really trying to teach us? If we read it as a scientific document, we miss the point. Its purpose is primarily theological. It's an ancient text, written to an ancient people, to answer the biggest questions of life. Who are we? Why are we here? And who is in control? Genesis 1 answers with absolute clarity. It teaches that there is one, true, all-powerful God who is the creator of everything. It shows that creation is not chaotic or random, but orderly, purposeful, and good. It establishes that humanity has profound dignity and purpose as image-bearers of God, and it declares that God is sovereign over all of time, nature, and life itself. Genesis 1 is so much more than a story about how the world began. It's the foundation for our entire worldview. If God created everything with such intricate order and purpose, that means your life also has order and purpose. You are not a cosmic accident. You are intentionally made in the very image of God. If this exploration helped you see Genesis 1 in a new way, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into Scripture. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you view the 6 days of creation as literal 24-hour periods, as symbolic ages, or something else entirely? Let's have a respectful discussion about it. In our next video, we'll journey into Genesis 2 for a closer look at the story of Adam and Eve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.